one of the highest rated visual novels of all time that even inspired Hajime Isayama to create Attack on Titan. You'd think an anime of this would be great, right? Muv-Luv Alternative is the third and final entry in the Muv-Luv trilogy, and the part that got an anime adaptation. Like, I can see why, as it's what everyone gets into Muv-Luv for, plus the first two visual novels are seen as you have to get through them to read Alternative, so having an anime adaptation of the best part could be a great way to gauge your interest before trying them out, but it didn't really turn out so well. Just as some background if you don't know what a Muv-Luv is. The first VN extra is the school life of Takeru, our main character. Then in Unlimited he gets isekai'd to a world where most of the population is dead because of an alien invasion. That also includes some people dear to him. Alternative starts right after the end of Unlimited, which I'm not going to spoil. Despite its score and reputation, I did like watching to see how they handled my favourite moments. But it does have a lot of issues. Obviously adapting the final part of the trilogy is one. They do have some flashbacks every now and again, but not enough for someone to get invested, I feel. It also cuts out a lot of stuff too, and it's not super needed, but it still does mess up the pacing. Not that the original had good pacing anyway. Because of the pacing and starting with the last part of a trilogy, most of the characters are just there. They still all have their big plot moments, but they just happen and then it's not really brought up again. I do think Maya and Yuhi's arc was well done, but that was 4 episodes long compared to the minutes these other characters get. Also, Sumika basically does not exist in season 1, and the mystery of the brain is never really brought up as well. I'd assume this is because of the budget, as it would be way too expensive to double the episode count, but even then they didn't have enough budget to make the series look good. Like, it doesn't look bad, but in the first season, anyone who wasn't right in front of the camera looked like shit. But that doesn't mean that being right in front of the camera means you won't look like shit. The movement was janky at times. Like, they absolutely butchered the salute scene. Like, how can you fuck this up so badly? What is this? At least the fights were good though. Look, despite all this, I did enjoy it, and even more so in the second season, which did improve the quality, and the animation is actually decent now. The direction was also improved as well. This is also where things get amazing in the VN, in my opinion, and they handled it a lot better. There's a scene in the second episode of season 2 where Takeru, the main character, is about to be eaten alive in his TSF, and he's just absolutely losing it. And this scene was done like 10 out of 10. I was getting anxious watching it, although I did know what happened right after, which was also done well. The directing in season 2, while not anything crazy, was still a huge improvement over season 1, which had this scene which absolutely drove me crazy. The pacing also isn't as bad anymore, as the story has really got going, and the first 5 episodes were dedicated to one arc, but it still does have some issues from season 1, like jumping from one big thing to another. In the VN, after seeing Marimo die, Takeru escapes back to the original world where everything is happy and nothing bad ever happens, and you get this hour to unwind after what just happened before things start happening again. In the anime, it's literally just 6 minutes and then thing. But they kept the insert song in episode 5, so everything's cool, I guess. And having Jam Project come back and do the opening was really cool as well. Also, they got Evan Cole to do the music for both seasons, and what he didn't just remake from the original actually sounded quite good. Except for Not Dead Yet, this is a banger. Whenever it plays, instant goosebumps. It makes all the action scenes better. 10 out of 10. They barely played it, but man, it was just so good whenever they did. Like in the first episode, which was an anime only episode as well, which is really cool to see. Obviously, being an anime adaptation, they did change some things too, not just cutting things out. They cut out most of the briefings and info dumps, and really strangely cut out Takeru being saved in episode 2 of season 2, which was really weird. Takeru's therapy session after Marimo's death was like 5 seconds long, which I won't say I'm not frustrated about, because in the original, that was like 7 minutes of pure pain. The new VA's tried, but I'm so used to the old voices, it is a bit jarring. Although I will say, Yuko's VA sounds really similar to the old one.
この事態は私たちにとっては好都合よ。あの男にも言われていたわね。聞けば答えてもらえると思うのは。
Season 2 goes well enough up until it ends, and then it doesn't actually adapt the whole thing. Again, I understand why. This whole anime was made to get people into the franchise, so this kind of ending is just say, hey, go read the bloody VN. Which you should, as long as it interests you. It's great, just don't use the anime as a substitute for the chapters it does anime. But I'd say if you have a bit of interest, it wouldn't hurt to try the first episode, or maybe even watch one of the spin-off anime series like Total Eclipse or Schwarzesmarken as well. Basically, I expected this to be absolute shit, but it was really interesting seeing my favourite moments get animated, even if they were cut down a lot. But as an alternative for alternative, it's just not good. It's really best to watch if you just want more Muv-Luv.